Hello, gorgeous babes. How are you guys? I haven't spoken to you in a while. So today I have a really great topic for you. I think this is really going to advance your inner work journey for those of you guys that have been doing your inner work with me for a while. And it's an advanced concept, but I feel like it may be of some benefit to you regardless of where you are in your journey right now. So I'm headed to my friend's to get my hair done. In all honesty, I just wanted some girls' time. Just wanted to spend some time with her, so I'm getting my hair touched up. So I'll be chatting with you while I'm driving. I hope you don't mind that. So this is a concept that my husband and I refer to as the rubber band strategy. So this came about in our own journey when we both had reached a new level of inner work and intimacy, both personally on a personal level and in our relationship. And immediately after, we both noticed that every time we would reach a new awakening in our relationship, a new level of intimacy, emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, there were certain patterns that would pop up. And one of the biggest ones for us was in the midst of having a very intimate, playful moment, let's say we're flirting with each other, making eye contact or whatever, that immediately during or after, one of us would change the topic. Even if we weren't speaking, like someone would have to say something like, oh, so what time should we have dinner? Or start telling about that cute thing that Alina did, my daughter. And we were both doing it for a while before we both became aware of it. And it was a weird moment of like, we both became aware of it and we both became aware that the other person was aware of it. Really weird. And so we had a discussion around how when we do something that's really uncomfortable because it's really unique for how you've behaved in the past, right? It's against your natural norm conditioning. You make your nervous system uncomfortable, even though you want it. Do you really want that thing? The part of you that feels comfortable in the old patterns resists against this new change, right? Remember, we've talked about in a lot of my programs how the brain is just programmed for safety. And safety means being the same, staying where you are, not like going too far off the path. So even though more intimacy and more, love and romance and abundance and money is what you consciously desire, if you're not used to that, if you haven't trained your nervous system to receive that, there's a little bit of uncomfort. And that's why this is where self-sabotage comes in, really. What we deeply, deeply desire is also something that's so outside of our comfort zone that we self-sabotage our way back into it. So another way of saying this is my husband and I immediately discussing something mundane in the midst of an intimate moment or right after it was a way of settling back into the mundaneness and the comfort zone, right? So we were talking about how this is a new level for us and now we need to retrain the nervous system. And I call this kind of like stretching your container, stretching your energetic capacity to hold more. And really it comes down to allowing yourself the grace to be uncomfortable in that moment. This is how I've always taught it. This is how I refer to it. But Irfan brought up a really interesting way of saying it that I thought would also help. And so I'm going to share that here today. He said, well, it's kind of like a rubber band, isn't it? And I loved that because instantly when he said it, it was like another layer kind of expanded of my own understanding of it. And so we were talking about how when you stretch a rubber band, it keeps snapping back because it's not used to it, right? It will snap back. But if you hold the pose of the rubber band stretched out for long enough, the rubber band will not snap back, right? Like you will have made that the new resting point, the new emotional set point, the new nervous system training for the rubber band, and then it won't snap back. So that was the first layer of us really doing this, expanding our container, expanding our nervous system's ability to hold this new level of intimacy. But you can do this in everything, right? In my 3-day free money vibration challenge, I talk about becoming aware of your vibration, of what you feel in your nervous system when you're spending money. When you become aware of this, you can expand beyond it and see if that's what you really want to consciously feel, or that's just the old you. So this concept really is life-changing, and it can be applied anywhere. The second layer, and this is again a little bit more, even more advanced, because here's why I'm saying this is advanced. You can intellectually understand this and not allow yourself to practice it in the body. The expanding of the rubber band or the container happens in the body. And I'll share some actual examples of this in a moment. So let me give you guys a second layer. So when we started practicing this, a few years went by, and then we reached a new level, and then we started doing the thing again. And then, I don't remember who it was, but one of us was like, we need to expand the rubber band once again. Now, this shows up a lot of ways for couples. If you've ever had an experience where you saved up an amount of money that you thought you wouldn't be able to, and then an emergency shows up. Or you get the promotion and then you get sick. Or you and your partner is enjoying a new level of intimacy and then you pick a fight. Like that's the self-sabotage. That's the rubber band snapping back, right? Because you haven't expanded to that new pose. But here's what happened this time around when we caught ourselves. Irfan talked about a second layer of this that I thought was mind-blowing. He said, when we're expanding the rubber band, I also want grace on the other side. And I said, what do you mean by that? And he said that when things are going really, really great and they're at a new level, and we're trying to hold the rubber band pose so that becomes our new normal, I can sense this vibration in you that you have this panic that this isn't gonna last, we're gonna go back down. And he's like, our back down isn't that bad, right? We've been doing a lot of conscious work on ourselves together and separately. So he's like, there has to be grace on the other side. And then all of a sudden, what came to me was, when you're stretching the rubber band, you're actually stretching in both directions, aren't you? You're not just pulling the rubber band in this direction, you're also pulling the rubber band in this direction. And that was such a big aha for both of us, right? So for example, let's say that you never used to go on dates with your partner, and you took my 90-day relationship rehab or my conscious couple, and you changed your relationship dynamic, and now you're going on dates. So you went from 0 dates to, let's say, 2 dates a month. Well, let's say that, month 4, something happens where your husband's busy at work, one of your kids, has a project to school or something, and you only go on 1 date that month. What happens is, because this isn't like our new normal yet, it's new, right? We haven't stretched the rubber band enough. You might panic and you might say, oh no, we're reverting back to the old self, like this isn't working, here we go again. But if you're stretching the rubber band on both ends, you have more grace also on the other side. Like, that if you go back down to 1 date a month, like that's your new low. Your previous low was 0. Well, your new low may be 1, but the next month you may go back to 2 dates or 3 dates or even more. So there has to be that grace in the other direction. Oftentimes, what can happen is that when we don't do this, our partners can feel like no matter what they do, it's not enough, right? So, for example, I know there was a study done on chimps or something, and we often refer to this study with our children, where there were 2 chimps in the room, monkeys, let's just say, and neither of them had any apples. Hopefully I'm not going to butcher this. And then the researchers gave both of them an apple each, and they were very happy. And then they gave both of them another apple, and they both had 2 apples, and they were very, very happy. And then they took away one of the apples from one of the monkeys, and that monkey was very, very upset. But just a few moments ago, that monkey had 0 apples. So he was still in the net positive, right? Like he still had 1 apple more than he did just a few moments ago. But the fact that he had 2 and had 1 taken away now was leading to his unhappiness. And this is often what can happen. I see this a lot in my one-on-one coaching with couples, and with when I'm coaching just a woman, is like we'll be working together, and let's say that they weren't being intimate at all, and they went from 0 intimacy to being intimate, 5, 6, 7 times a month. And they do that for 2 months, and the 3rd month they go back down to like 4 times. There is a lot of panic that will arise in that moment. I'm going to go get my hair done with my friend, and I'll come back and finish this for you guys. Hello, I am back. I got my hair done and I had lunch with my friend. So we were talking about the rubber band pose, I guess you can say. So where in your life are you allowing yourself to stretch beyond what is comfortable for you, right? And this is where we really start getting serious with catching ourselves with that self-sabotage, whether it's energetic with like an illness popping up or an emergency, or actual self-sabotage like in the midst of intimacy or money coming in, we quickly change gears because it's too uncomfortable to receive that thing. That's where you have to get really, really real with yourself. And I'll be honest, sometimes it's hard to do it on your own. Part of my work I've done on my own, and part of it has been because I've put myself in mentorship programs or coaching, and that's really helped me because, it's like the computer virus trying to fix the computer virus. Sometimes you need someone else to call you out. If you need more help, I am currently opening up a couple of spots in one-on-one coaching with me. I also have many coaching, self-study programs and intensives that you can do. I'll link all that information or where you can contact me in the description below. You can also join me at theuniversegrew.com to join the 3-day free Money Mojo Challenge, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.